2020 has been unusual, so I thought of doing something unusual at the end of this year. That is to share a 5-minute message with Grace family. End of year, especially New Year's Eve, gives us a different feeling and allows us to look back on the past and at the same time look forward to the future, making the present moment a time for reflection and resolution as well as celebration. On New Year's Eve, I want to focus on a four-letter word, that is time, especially lessons that 2020 has taught us about time. First, it is a time to stay home. I remember years ago when I did youth ministry back in Atlanta on New Year's Eve, we got together in a house, played ping pong, played board games and video games, and we ate, especially chicken wings with all kinds of flavors. Crispy bacon wings, spicy wings, honey barbecue, honey garlic, from mild to super hot. You name it. We had fun. But given the recent coronavirus surge, I urge you to stay home and have a celebration and conversation with your family, reflecting on 2020 and contemplating 2021. Second is it's a time to stay away. I remember at the end of 2019 and the beginning of 2020, I was busy going here and there, making hospital visits. But I didn't since March of 2020, not because no one got sick or had surgery, but because I couldn't due to COVID 19. We had no indoor services and Bible study and even celebrated Christmas virtually. Although it's breaking our hearts not being able to see each other in person, I urge you to stay away, do social distancing, and wear a mask. Third, it's a time to stay connected. I remember when I first came to the United States back in August 2005, I was so happy to call my parents in Korea and talk to them. And they were so happy to communicate on the phone that they asked me over and over again, so you are in America, right? Even though we cannot meet in person, we have far better technology than before, like Zoom and video chatting, as well as email and texting. Looking back on 2020, I cannot think of another way to survive without my Grace family. Without your loving care, without your presence in my life and in my family's life, it could have been very different and very difficult. So I urge you to stay connected with each other. Lastly, it is a time to stay in love. I remember when I began serving at Grace, getting a phone call from my wife in Berkeley. She asked me, when are you coming? Not because she didn't know when my work ended, which was 5 p.m., but because childcare was hard. And now, every Saturday morning, when my wife leaves home and says goodbye to teach Korean school virtually, leaving Luke and Phoebe behind, I'm about to cry. I almost cry. But I think this pandemic has taught us how precious our time with family is, how precious we are to one another, especially when we look at those who are losing their lives and their loved ones because of COVID. So I urge you to stay in love. So, one now, what do we need to do? Today's passage from Ecclesiastes 3 starts with this: For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die. And this passage ends with this: I know that there is nothing better for them better for them than to be happy and enjoy themselves as long as they live. So, my friends, let us enjoy this time together as long as we live. Happy New Year. Amen.